Hi crafters, feeling lucky today? I've got just a project for you. A funny little leprechaun seated on a top hat. And of course, this clever leprechaun hides his very own pot of luck. Can you guess where? That's right, inside the hat. You can hide anything in a top hat, but I chose a little box that can even double as a piggy bank. In mine, I might put craft supplies because that's what I treasure the most. So let's dive in and make our leprechaun come to life. First, I dig into my pile of safe plastic containers to find the perfect rounded box. I decide on a container that used to hold lavender scrubbing salt from Trader Joe's. If you want to use the exact same one, go for it. It has a lid that opens by pulling it. I place the pot upside down on a piece of double-wall corrugated cardboard and trace a circle slightly larger than the container. This will be the hat's brim. I cut it out and tape it to the container with masking tape. Next, I cover the pot with glue and attach strips of craft paper to create a porous surface I can work with. This surface can be painted or textured, which wouldn't have been possible on a stick container. About an hour later, once the whole hat is neatly covered and the lid is free and can still open, I find a green worn-out shirt that fits the theme and I use it to cover the hat. I cut a circle larger than the top of the hat, then cut slits in the extra fabric so it can fold neatly inside. I glue this piece onto the hat. After drying, you will find that the glue creates a strong bond between the paper and fabric. To hide the ugly slits, I cut a round piece the size of the hat's brim and cut a hole in the middle to match the circumference of the top. This piece slides over the hat and covers everything smoothly. I also glue a second circle over the top to thicken the coverage. Then I apply glue to the walls of the hat and tie a sleeve of the shirt around it, cut so it wraps without folds. Just like with the brim, I cut slits at the top and bottom and tuck them inside the pot and over the top. I used the circular cutout I saved previously after cutting a hole in it to fit the brim covering piece and glue it to the top to hide the slits. You will need to use a lot of glue for the fabric to stick to the craft paper. It may look messy at first, but after letting it dry overnight, it will be strong and smooth. For those of you feeling adventurous, you can use a hot glue gun. Just be careful not to burn your fingers. I use a scissor or a wooden stick to press the fabric safely. The next day, I noticed some imperfections, so I decided to unify the look with a dark green paint similar to the shirt, and I apply it everywhere. Now, the hat looks great. Next, I glue a small container inside the hat. I chose one that used to hold pills slightly narrower than the hat. I cut the bottom to fit and hot glue it inside. Everything I put in the container will rest inside the hat, which acts as the bottom of the pot. Because I kept the lid, I can secure the treasure inside. The fun part is that whatever you put inside can be spilled onto the brim like a little plate. My hat doesn't close completely, but that's okay. I'll hide it with a golden band hot glued around the base. I glue it both inside and outside to hide the white backing of the paper and to reinforce it. I also glue another band over the top to strengthen it even more. Finally, I create the buckle from a piece of black glitter foam. I use the golden band as a template to check the size and placement, cut out the shape and hot glue it on. I love the hat as is, but I like to push my creativity further. Now it's time to make a little leprechaun seated on it. I use paper mâché. I have a recipe on my channel if you want to make your own, but this time I'm using Crayola's ready-made paper mâché because I didn't have time to prepare my own. It's my first time trying this brand and honestly it's really nice. It's soft, elastic and easy to knead. It's perfect for shaping a character in clay. I start with an armature made from aluminum foil, although sometimes I use wire for bigger, heavier pieces. Then I cover the foil with clay to sculpt the body. Once I'm happy with the sculpt, I let it dry for a day before painting. I use green and orange for the clothes, green for the jacket and hat, orange for the pants, black for the boots and hat ribbon, and gold for the hat buckle. Of course, the hair is orange and the face and hands get a natural skin tone. I finish by reinforcing the colors with matching wax pencils and markers. And voila! Our little leprechaun is ready to guard his pot of luck. I love how it turned out and you can fill the hat with your own treasures. If you enjoyed crafting with me today, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more creative projects. Thanks so much for being here and I'll see you in the next one. Happy crafting!